Welcome to the first edition of To Be Determined, a name will be announced later, where we spin you around the league, bringing you the most around the NFL and the Lewisberry League. We're going to start out with the game of the week, Cowboys versus Eagles. What do you think? No defense?
I don't think no defense. I just think two very good offenses.
I don't know about that. There's some terrible defensive plays. There's some missed calls.
But you look at the Cowboys. We'll take the Cowboys first. Here's a team, first half, their defense is subpar. We hold them to a field goal at first, go a little further, they keep scoring on us. Second half, completely different team defensively. Come out 4 sacks on Donovan McNabb. Well, not a forced fumble, but Donovan McNabb
37 points, you can't say you had a good defensive effort.
I didn't say it was a good defensive effort.
The only reason you guys got that final fumble is because McNabb forgot to play.
That's true.
Moving on, though, what do you think of Deshaun Jackson's his dance and sucking it up?
I say welcome to the league, rookie. That was a rookie mistake. You never should do it.
I'd have loved to see something happen where Brett Westbrook fumbles on the goal line, the Cowboys run it back. Would have been the most all-time boneheaded play ever.
I don't know. All I know is the refs screwed up again on this game. You have Deshaun Jackson, who fumbles. The ref on the other side of the ball whistles to stop the play. Adam Jones already had started going back to grab the fumble to run it back. But here's another bonehead call by the refs. Not Ed Hockley. I like the guy, but this guy, he should go.
Speaking of boneheaded calls, you want to talk about the most significant one this past Sunday?
Let's talk about it.
Chargers-Broncos. Game-changing. Seconds left in the fourth quarter. Cutler throws an obvious fumble. Recovered by the Chargers, game over. But Hockley, that's the guy, Hockley? Ed Hockley, he rules an incomplete pass, which no indication whatsoever that would be incomplete. The Broncos go on to go for 2 and win the game.
I think Ed Hockley was a little dehydrated. He must have been working out in the gym a little too much, because there is no possible way you can call this an incomplete pass. No possible way at all. The ball goes backwards. How is that an incomplete pass? It was a bad call. Ed Hockley admits it's a bad call. He agrees that he should have something done to him. I don't know. I like the guy. I think he's a good referee. I don't think you do this much to him, but something's got to be.
We got to remember how long this guy's been in the NFL. His name hasn't even been brought up with that many bad calls. He makes one horrendous bad call, and people are ready to expel him from the NFL. I think that's a little over the top, but I do think he deserves some kind of punishment.
Plus the guy's cock diesel. I mean, this is a guy who wanted my tight end.
He could jack up a few quarterbacks.
Yeah,
All right, moving on to another game. I want to know what you think of Matt Cassell's first start.
Matt Cassell's first start. Well, I think Matt Cassell eventually will be a good player. I think eventually, once he gets some starts under his belt, he can do some things. But he's not going to be a Tom Brady. The guy's looking like he could hold his own, and he didn't lose the game for the team.
I'm going to tell you right now, he is not, by the end of the year, we're going to be saying, losing Brady lost in the season. Cassell is not that good. He hasn't started since high school for a reason. I mean, the guy, he didn't lose the game for him. He didn't win it either. Their defense did. And they're playing, who were they playing? They played the Chiefs the first game and the Jets the second game. When they beat the Steelers, or the Bills maybe even, then we can start talking about him being an alright quarterback.
You got a point, but the Hood trusts him. And I don't like the Hood. I wish it would have been his ACL and MCL that got torn. I don't think Charlie Weiss should have happened to him, but the guy trusts him. The guy is good for scouting. He may not be a good guy. We may not like him, but he knows how to scout. And the talk about Tom Brady, the loss of Tom Brady is going to mess this team up. I don't think I buy into this so much. What it's going to do is it's going to make this from an offensive power to strictly defensive. The defense last year held people to points. It wasn't like they had blowout games with other people. They were the ones that were scoring all the points. So I think this team is okay. Matt Castle just has some.
But we're not talking Super Bowl here.
We're not talking Super Bowl.
We're talking possible playoffs, maybe.
Yeah, this team will get demolished if you come against a powerhouse like the Steelers, the Cowboys. I even think maybe this year the Eagles could beat them. I hate to say that, but I even think the Eagles could beat them Super Bowl. So, I mean, it's a good defense. It can hold off teams. It won't take them to the Super Bowl.
No, and we got to remember, regardless what Nehemiah says, AFC is still the class of the NFL.
Still the class, but let me remind you, the experts, I know sometimes I don't agree with the experts, but the experts say right now, number one team in the league, Dallas Cowboys.
I ain't saying the NFC, I'm not saying the Dallas Cowboys aren't the best. What I'm saying is,
so you're saying they're the best?
No, we're talking Steelers.
Oh, no.
We'll see when they play.
This is my guy, I love this guy, but he's wrong.
Get out. I'm saying is, the NFC as a whole is not as good as the Steelers as the AFC as a whole.
I think you have a point. I really don't think that.
You may have a couple, good teams. Some are better in the NFC than the AFC, but as a whole, when teams are making it in the NFC playoffs with a 7-9 record, and there's teams struggling to make it in the AFC playoffs with 10-6 records, you can't be telling me the NFC is far superior. They might be close.
I never said the NFC was far superior. I do think they're close.
This is for Nehemiah.
I think they're close conferences. It's neither here nor there. They both have their powerhouse teams. You have teams like the Steelers. The National Football League would be uninteresting without the Steelers. It'd be uninteresting without the Cowboys, without the Patriots, without the Eagles. It'd be uninteresting without these teams. So I don't think it's neither here nor there. I think they're both very good conferences for what they're good for. It wouldn't make a difference either way.
All right, now it brings us to our next game, Packers and Lions. Now we know the Lions are absolutely terrible. The reason we bring this game up is because of the emergence of Aaron Rodgers. Do you think this kid's for real, or do you think it's just a series of bad teams he's playing?
All right, here's what I think of Aaron Rodgers. I think this kid has the potential to be good. Is he going to be great? I don't think so. Is he going to be a Brett Favre? I don't think so. I think this kid has faced two teams that haven't really done too much. Against Minnesota, Minnesota sort of held him. He got a lucky pass against Minnesota. I don't think that should have happened. That was kind of like maybe it's Lambeau magic instead of Brett Favre magic. Against the Detroit Lions, you can't take anything from that. Detroit Lions have a good offense. I mean, it's not great, but it's a good offense compared to years past what they have. But defensively wise, that team just sucks.
I'll tell you, I buy into Aaron Rodgers. I think he's going to be good. He's been under Brett Favre and the same system for 3 years. He was a first-round pick for a reason. Now, he did well against the Vikings. No mistakes. I don't know if that was a lucky pass or well-thrown ball. But this kid, he did something to the Vikings that Peyton Manning couldn't. Peyton Manning struggled against the Vikings.
True.
Aaron Rodgers, I don't know if it's week 1, but he did well. And the Lions, if Matt Ryan did well against the Lions, you can't take that much from him.
Don't get on Matt Ryan. Don't get on Matt Ryan. But here's the question. Is he going to be a great quarterback?
He will throw for over 3,000 yards and 25 touchdowns.
This year?
This year he will. You can hear me now. He will do this year.
3,000 yards?
3,000 yards.
And how many touchdowns?
25.
25 is doable.
20. 20 touchdowns.
20, I'd agree
12
with 20.
interceptions. That will be his
3,000 yards, though, I don't know.
They will make it deep into the playoffs. Maybe not Super Bowl, but they'll make it.
I don't know.
The players around him are really good. The defense is good.
I think once they face some real teams, I don't know if they're going to make it that far in the playoffs.
We'll see. I like Rodgers.
He's okay. I'm not saying he's bad. He's okay.
He's all right.